So,
we're going live. What you got?
I was going to say, at the bottom of the screen, there's a deprogram enlightener.
Yeah, I can remove that.
Okay.
I'll just have that up there for now.
We're going live. I was going to say, at the bottom of the screen, there's a deprogram enlightener.
Yeah, I can remove that.
Okay.
Have that up there for now. Hey, so shalom, everyone. Once again, you're under the sound of the for the sounds of the true disciples of Christ. And this is the work of the Most High, Yahweh's work, which is God's work. And we're gonna continue on where we left off last night. Again, this is righteous rebuke. This is not to make anyone feel bad or just try to as they say
notoriety,
notoriety, or get so-called video hits or what have you. It's not for this. This is strictly about teaching the truth. See if I can get rid of this thing here, man. Banner, hide that. Lightning is still there. And so the truth is actually making a lot of people mad, but it's also display names. It's also actually been waking up a lot of people. And that, praise to the Most High for that. You got people that's actually starting to leave these organizations, should I say. The deprogramming lightning is still up there. I removed that last night. So, nevertheless, let me go ahead and put something on the screen, man, so I could get you to go ahead and start with this. So as you come into the room, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If there's anyone that have anything that they would, like to bring out, regarding any of these organizations, you can feel free to do so. If you have been one of the victims of the adultery that the Gocc has actually been committing against people, or pedophile from this guy iuic, you can call in. There's a call-in number I just posted in the YouTube room. How do I get rid of this deprogramming lightning? I did not do that. Comments, banners. Bam, it's gone, right? Is that still there? Can you still see that? It's gone, right, Yashaba?
Khan, you got it out, man. You got it out.
So it's just under that banners. So yeah, so I mean, I just want to say a few things. Like, I mean, you're catching these people in lies, and it should be obvious. Like the guy Mathathawa, he said he wasn't using the summit meetings for, to go on the summits, right? I mean, he wasn't using the money from the summits to go to Israel. Now, why is it that right after the summit, every single summit, this man has actually, they end up going to Israel a little while later? Is that just coincidental, or is there truth to what I stated about these guys, just getting fiat from you guys, overcharging people? And I kind of want to Yeshaya on here because he had a testimony, man, about because he purchased something from this guy also, and it was way overpriced. And this man, he took up 2 seats. He paid for 2 seats in the airport. So I mean, they're lying. They're consistently lying. They're lying about they didn't allow Tazadaq at the summit when he was out right there outside. So the man was lying. He's lying in his videos, and meanwhile they're calling me a liar for calling him out. And so we're gonna continue on, exposing the truth and waking up you Israelites that foolishly believe that these so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans that you call Indians are your people. These men are not your people. So I'm gonna read something from this. And all of you that don't have this book, Black Indian Genealogy Research. This is a book that you would actually typically research if you're trying to trace your Native American ancestry. But you know the problem with that? The people that you're tracing are not indigenous Americans. The people that you're tracing are nothing but damn Moabites, right? They came from East Asia down here. And when they came here, guess who they found here? They found us here. Here's another book. Now, don't be thrown off with the word African, right? Because they have a tendency to refer to us all as Africans. But when you read in this book right here, the first Americans were Africans. You got Israelites here, man. It's Dr. Imhotep. And he goes in and tells you when these people that refer to themselves as Native Americans arrive here, they found us here. They found Israelites here. So I'm going to go to more of this because many of you think that the so-called Native American slave trade, they treated you nice. Because this is how RER and these guys has actually lied to you in these One West camps, Shalom, One West camps, and so on and so forth. They've been lying to you, people. They've been lying to you. So we're gonna read. I left off right here last night with the Cherokees. I'm gonna stop right here, and I'll tell you what page I'm reading from. Page 15. And why am I doing this? To show you that those people that refer to themselves as Indian, Native Americans are not our people, right? It is known that Nancy Ward, and you could look that name up, write it down, Google it. You'll find out I'm not making this up. It is known that Nancy Ward was one of the first women in the Cherokee Nation to own black slaves. She's so-called Indian, Native American, whatever you want to call it, right? In 1755, when her husband was killed, she obtained this weapon and became a warrior herself in the Battle of Telawa against the Creeks. Her people were victors in the battle, and she received a captured black slave as a prize, right? Within a few short years, Nancy Ward became the owner of silver slaves, purchasing many more of her own. Nancy Ward, so-called Native Americans. This is what they think of you, simple as Israelites, but trying to say these are your people, right? By the end of the 1790s, Cherokees began to lose great amounts of land to white. And being unhappy, they began also to raid villages and settlements of squatters. Halliburton points out that frequently in such encounters, whites were killed and blacks were frequently taken as prisoner slaves. By who? By the same Native Americans that they're trying to tell you is your people that hate your guts. The same Native Americans that just recently kicked thousands of Cherokees out so they wouldn't get land. The same people that they're trying to tell you that Johanna and ISUPK is trying to tell you is your people. That the House of David is trying to tell you is your people. That HOI is trying to tell you that it's your people. Pretty much all of the One West camps, man. All of the One West camps. And the same thing goes for these Puerto Ricans and these other Hispanic people. They're not our people. And we're going to go over some of this. We're going to go over some of it that's going to make you mad. So, Cherokees began actually purchasing black slaves of their own on a regular basis. John Ross, another name you should write down. John Ross, originally from Tennessee, was an important Cherokee chief who was wealthy and who was a major slave owner. But they're your people, huh? You're right. You can miss me with that. You can miss me with that. John Martin, another tribal leader, owned well over 100 slaves. These are so-called Native American people that RER lied to you and told were your people, that they got on that damn 12 tribes sign. The 12 tribe signs now disgust me. You need to regurgitate on the damn 12 tribe sign. So someone go and urinate on the damn 12 tribe sign because it's a lie. It's a lie that was actually pushed by that dude, Yeshaya, when they sold out to the Rosicrucians. The Vans were equally as wealthy and was part of the latent class of Cherokee slave owners. So these people own slaves. Who were the slaves? You so-called blacks. You so-called blacks. Are you still there, Yashaba?
I'm here.
Going to page 16. By 1809, the Cherokee Nation began to enact laws by the National Council, and in 1827, the Cherokee Nations adopted the Constitution partnered at the United States Constitution. It is interesting to note some of the passage pertaining to slavery. Now, I want you to listen to this, Shahana. I want you to listen to this, Mathathawa. I want you to listen to this, Sabak, and all these other One West camps. They're trying to say that these people are our people, and you peoples foolishly want to continue to follow them. This is something from the Cherokees' Constitution, right? Article 3, Section 4. Sort of emulates Esau's Constitution, does it not? No person shall be eligible to a seat in the General Council but a free Cherokee male citizen who shall have attained to the age of 25 years. The descendants of Cherokee men by all free women except the African race whose parents may have been living together as a man and wife. So everyone of the Cherokee Nation, except if you was of a Negroid descent, you couldn't sit on that body. Understand that?
Wow.
And you're gonna try to believe that these people are your people, man? When they pass these kind of laws, same kind that Esau had, man. No person who is a Negro, I'm reading the right hand. I can't make this up. I'm reading the right hand. I have it highlighted. No person who is a Negro or mulatto parentage, either by the father or the mother, shall be eligible to hold office or profit, honor, or trust under this government. Under what government? Not Esau's government. It's the whole Native American government. Let me get you some more. Are you trying to say these are your people? In addition, it is significant to understand that not only in the Southeast, but also in many parts of the Indian country, many Native people were often encouraged to capture runaway slaves. That means they capture runaway Israelites, just like Esau was doing. You understand? Just like Esau was doing for monetary rewards. In some instance, free blacks, man was free already, were captured and held in bondage by Indians. That these One West splinter groups are son of our people. By Indians. Get them out of that, man.
That's crazy.
An example in the case of Paul Smith being captured by Chief Doublehead. Then they had something called the Indian Removal Act. That's when people got removed, right? This began the mass deportation of thousands of people from their homelands in the Southeast United States in the lands in Arkansas and what is now known as Oklahoma, right? So-called Indian territories. This forced exodus of red and black men and women to the new Indian territory, but they didn't treat you any better there. Beginning the midwinter of 1830s with the Chickasaws. For the Chickasaws, the removal was particularly, I'm interested in something. Those Chickasaws, they was ruthless. They was the most ruthless on the Israelites. They were the most ruthless ones. I just added you to the stream, Messiah. However, it should be pointed out that among the Cherokees who began to march were 1,600 black Cherokee slaves who was pushed westward along with their masters. By 1840, thousands of Indians with their black slaves had been removed to the new Indian territory. So, even though when they was putting these damn so-called Native Americans on in the Indian territory, they still had you as slaves. And you're gonna call these people your people? Someone hasn't done proper research, man. Someone hasn't done proper research. And you're gonna stand on the corner, oh yeah, those are our people. Those are our people. Now let's talk a little about the slave rebellion. I'm reading from page 18 right now. Black Indian genealogy research. Page 18. The year 1842 was to bring about the strictest controls upon slaves in Cherokee Nation. They were controlling you Israelites. These people you was calling your people, so-called Native Americans. This was because during the spring of that year, about the major slave uprising in the Indian territory. So the blacks was fighting against these damn Native Americans. What the hell you mean they are people? We was fighting and trying to get free from them. You damn One West splinter groups, you're going to, all of you are lying, man. All of you are lying. You see the truth that we're bringing out? It's irrefutable, man. It's undisputable, but they still want to hold on to that garbage, these lies that they was taught. We got to start to boycott these damn Israelites that won't let that foolishness go, man. That damn sign. That sign was a bunch of damn lies, man. Our people are Negro only, man. The Israelites are Negro only. All of these other nations had us in captivity at one time or another. And you can't even deny that. So this was because during the spring of that year, about the major slave uprising in the Indian Territory Corps, approximately 200 slaves, mostly Cherokee, though it is said some Creek slaves joined the rebellion, escaped from the estate of Joseph Rich Joe. He's a so-called Native American, Joseph Rich Joe, Van, and Weber Falls. In the early hours of the spring morning, the homes of the slave owners were locked while the horsemen, mails, guns, and other weapons were seized along with food supplies, and the slaves fled. The intention was to reach Mexico, a land that many heard was a land where slavery did not legally exist. That was another misnomer, because they had what? Israelite slaves there also.
Con.
They still don't treat you right there. So they would have ran into a sad, startling surprise. After obtaining a fresh supply of horses and supplies from Fort Smith, the slave owners eventually caught up with the slaves. These Native Americans caught up with them. After engaging in battle, the slaves ran out of food, ammunition, and mostly, importantly, water, and were forced to surrender. Who did they surrender to? The same damn Native Americans that you're lying and telling people are people. Shame on you, man. Shame on you, Johanna. Shame on you, Barak. Shame on all of you that trying to keep the lie going. Their leaders were executed. So they executed the Israelites, man. And many of the males were confined to work on Joseph Van's boats for the remainder of their lives. The slave rebellions immediately had its consequences throughout the nation. There had been some free blacks who had lived in the nation peacefully among the Cherokees, and immediately restrictions were put on them. You see what I'm saying? In December, the National Council passed legislation to remove free blacks from the nation. So they start kicking you out. You understand? And you couldn't marry him. It goes on. It goes into the history of the Creeks and so on and so forth. But I'm going to share my screen for a minute and bring out something else. But Yeshaya, can you speak? Are you able to hear? Because I add you to the room.
So on.
Come on. All right, well, yeah, we can hear you this song. So yeah, I mean, before I go ahead and share the screen, I would just like to say this. I mean, you could give a testimony because you was one of the people that bought something from these summits that they have that Matata was selling. Because I had bought some jewelry and the damn guy was overcharging it. But when I bought it out, he said I was a liar. Did you have a similar experience, good brother? So yeah, the man is lying, man. The man is lying. The dude charged me 3 times what the stuff was actually worth. Because I went on eBay and I Googled it in Israel. And he charged me 3 times that amount. So that's what he's doing. He goes at the summit, he gets on the damn 747 jet. They fly over to Israel. They load up on goods and they come back over here and they sell it to their brothers 2 to 3 times the amount. The Lord is against that, man. That's known as usury in the scriptures. When you get something, the price that you pay for it, that's what you're supposed to sell it to your brother for. If it's still worth that, you can't go up in price, man. That's usury. You see, these men don't keep the laws, man. These men are wicked, man. How you gonna charge your brother more than what you pay for? Oh, I gotta make a profit because you're wicked and you really don't live by the law. The Lord told us about these kind of people, man. They draw near to me with their mouth and their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And that's what's going on with the bulk of these men, man. And it's mostly these One West offshoot splinter groups. That's who's doing this, man. Then let's talk about the so-called Hispanics for a minute, man. Because you love them, man. You got a lot of them in your camps. And what's ridiculous about that, you accept them before you accept a brother or sister from Africa that could possibly be an Israelite. I don't, I never quite understood that. And when I started to question this stuff and done my own damn research, I said, man, these dudes just lied to us, man. They literally lied to us. They completely lied to us. And now a lot of you don't want to let it go. Well, we're going to see if we're going to help you get your mind right. Let me share my screen for a minute here. Let's go into some more of what's really going on. Whoever's making that noise, could you kindly mute your mic? Let's go into some more what's going on here. Let me share my screen, and we're going to look at a slide here. PowerPoint that I put together. Yours truly, Tazadaq Shah. Yashabam, you still there?
Khan, I'm here.
Hey, are you able to see this on the full screen?
Yep, looks good.
Yeah, my view is different.
You got to put it in the slideshow, but yeah, we see it.
All right. GOCC, ISUPK, HOI, HODC, IUIC, GMS, and all of the other One West splinter groups that want to hold on to that doctrine. Former Indians and Hispanics, which are really Spanish, slaveholders aren't Israelites. Facts. Big facts. Now, here's the guy, Gocc. And someone put a simple message under one of my Facebook posts saying, hey, Elder Tazadaq, why is GOCC a splinter group? They're not like the rest. You damn right they're not like the rest. They're worse. They're worse. You see this? They're intermarried over there, man.
Wow.
They're intermarried over there. She's in the congregation. See him back there? See Esau in the back right there? They're intermarried. This goes on, man. They come to the feast days and everything. Now, what does the Lord say? Let's see how the Lord feels about this. Those of you that don't think that these people are off, Book of Exodus 33:16 says, for wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people, this is Moses talking, I and thy people have found grace in thy sight. It is not in that thy goes with us. So the Lord goes with us. The Lord goes with the nation of Israel, not the whole world. Is it not in that thy goest with us? The Lord goes with us, not the whole world. Like Joel Osteen is telling you. Like this guy right here is nothing but a Christian. Elder Gocc, this dude is nothing but a Christian, man. And hiding behind an Israelite name. They completely merged everything together. So let's see what the Lord says. So shall we be separated. So shall we be separated. See, Tazadaq didn't create this. What am I giving you? I'm giving you the law. We're going back to the Torah. So shall we be separated. I, meaning Moses, and thy people. Who's that people? The nation of Israel. Yasha Allah, the children of Yah, the children of God. From all the people. This is why these nations don't like us, man. From all the people upon the face of the earth. So what the hell you doing with Puerto Ricans in your camps? So what the hell you doing with Colombians of Spanish descent in your camps? What the hell you doing with Cubans of a Spanish descent, Mexicans of a Spanish descent in your camp? It's because you're not really keeping the laws of the Lord thy power, man. You want to do what you want to do. From there, let's go over to Isaiah 42 and 23. Who among you will give ear to this? Most of you won't hear. This is why you're still sticking to your doctrine. Look at Zabak, man. It's been exposed that this man was grooming a young child. Yaquab is still in his damn camp. What does that say about him? Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil? The Most High did. And Israel to robbers. The Most High did. Why? Because of your wicked ways and your failure to obey, just like right now. Just like what we see going on right here. Did not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned. So we sinned against the Lord, man. And as you can see, our people are still doing it. They joined on to the heathens. For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law. So and take that right there, Ezra 9 and 12. Again, this is GOCC, Gathering of Christ Church. Right. You see, he's hugged up with Edom.
Con. Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 12. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard and sat down astounded.
So this is why. This is what's wrong with GOCC. So don't ask me what's wrong with GOCC. They're chief trespassers against the Lord thy power. Because the Lord told us to separate from the nations. We just read 3 scriptures. Again, she's in GOCC. She's in GOCC. Someone get that. Ezra 9 and 12. See what I'm saying?
Look at Ezra. Ezra chapter 9, verse 12. Now therefore give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons, nor seek their peace or their wealth forever, that ye may be strong and eat the good of the land and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever. And after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our God, has punished us less than our iniquities deserve, less than our iniquities deserve, and has given us such deliverance as this, should we again break thy commandments and join in affinity with the people of these abominations? Wouldst not thou be angry with us till thou hadst consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor escaping?
So not only are we not supposed to be intermarried, we're not supposed to be mixed in amongst them. You understand? They're not supposed to be in our assemblies, our camps, our organization. There he is again. There's Rakar again. You see that? See that? There he is again. He's there with Esau. You see what I'm saying? Look at him, man. He just look like a damn buffoon, man. And he's just eating it up. He's violating the Lord's see, it's nothing but a church right there that he has. Nothing but a church, man. It's Christianity all day long. And this is what's going on in Latin America. The ones that look like this, totally mistreated. Same damn thing that goes on in America. The darker your skin, you got that kinky hair. It's like we read, man. It's like we read in the previous scriptures. You are hated because they know who you are, but you don't know who you are. And you're always trying to accept someone else instead of loving your own and yourself. This is what's going on. Depression. With more Afro visibility, Latin America redefines the color black. See that? He was classified as a so-called white Hispanic. Why? Today we're paying the price. The killing of Trayvon Martin by George Zimmerman caused many to revisit the notion of Latin whiteness. You Israelites need to get that in your head. Latino whiteness. Latino whiteness. Because that's what they classify themselves, unless they have Negro descent. The killing of Trayvon Martin, right? The article published by Latino Rebels, the white Hispanic label, yes, people racism is a Latino thing. To actually made some good points at the need to revisit race and Latino identity. While Cesar Vargas, the privilege of the white Hispanic, leaving out the rest, caused, to my amazement, a stir from white Latinos, quote unquote. Nonetheless, we also need African Americans to begin to embrace Afro Latinos among other black communities. Why we got to embrace Afro Latinos? Because they're outcasts just like you are. Because these people know who they are, but you don't know who they are. You don't know who you are. You understand? We're treated the same way everywhere, man. Who do not conform to the African American nomenclature. Unfortunately, as I had predicted, anti-black racism has reached their doorsteps. Rodney Ferguson compared Michelle Obama to a seminar from the Planet of Apes and was fired from Univision. You see that? He compared Michelle Obama to one of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this is blackface. This is recent right here. Can someone read that? She got on blackface. This is the Edomite right here. This is in Latin America. They got a damn television show that was making fun of Jay. This is not in the 50s. We're talking a couple years ago, if not more recent than that.
Wow. What's going on with these people that Israelite consider their brothers and sisters in Latin America? Since January, the Teatro Trail in Little Havana has been showing the play Tres Viudas en un Crucero, Three Widows on a Cruise, to sold out crowds.
So they're going to watch it. Sold out crowds. Go ahead.
The Spanish language production featured a black-faced character. A fair-skinned actress wore brown face makeup and overdrawn big red lips.
Right there.
The theater recently decided to eliminate blackface from the play after an IE Nuevo Herald report denouncing it.
See that? This is what they think of you, man.
White Latino racism on the rise. It is time for a serious conversation on Euro diasporic whiteness. A common miscommunication, a common misconnection that exists today rests on the notion that there are no racial heresies in
hierarchies in Latin American
countries, or within the Latino communities in the United States. In other words, Latino or Hispanic is itself a race. For many, this conversation is a pointless squabble that holds the true need for unity amongst marginalized groups in the United States. Unfortunately, overlooking the importance of the issue has in fact delineated separation and a lack of interest in each other's problems. The shooting of unarmed African American teenager Trayvon Martin by a half Peruvian and half white man named George Zimmerman, the rise of so-called Hispanic conservatives like Ted Cruz, Al Cardenas, and Marco Rubio, and examples of racist comments by Latinos in the media like Rodner Figueroa have made it impossible to have a conversation of Latinos and race. It is becoming clear that whites from Latin America, although marginalized by Anglo whites, have been able to pass as honorary whites and benefit from the inequalities formed by white supremacy.
You simple as Israelites, you better get this in your head. You better listen and get this in your damn heads. You a bunch of fools, man. Go ahead, Al.
This is not new, and it has a history. Many people who neglect to explore the history of Latin Americans in the United States fail to analyze people like the famous white Cuban Ricky Ricardo, Desi Arnaz, who penetrated the American television series I Love Lucy, 1951, at a time when Black people were not even allowed to perform next to white actors. Lucille Ball, was Arnaz's real wife, and both enjoyed a long and prosperous career in the film industry. In 1954, Arnaz was even able to get a role as a famous Don Juan, There
it is, Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. During this time, white Latin Americans, that's what you got in your camps. What did I say? White Latin Americans were seen as foreign interiors and exotic, and yet many passed and enjoyed white privileges. Did you Israelites hear that? To have these guys in your camps. Even all three of John Wayne's wives were from Latin America at a time when anti-Black and anti-immigrant sentiments were powerful, hateful discourses. Less mentioned is the famous Afro-Puerto Rican actor Juan Hernandez, who to date is considered was one of the most successful pioneering Black actors of the African-American film industry. Notice they call him African-American, even though he was so-called Puerto Rican. Despite Hernandez being from Latin America, he had to take Black roles precisely because he was Black and experienced the same segregation as the Blacks in the United States. And if you damn Israelites don't get this in your damn heads, ISUPK, IUIC, GMS, GOCC, HOI, and all you other groups, then you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. They're not our people, man. This was also common in Latin America, where Blacks were not allowed to be actors while whites enjoyed wearing Black face. How much they hate you, man. We're talking about so-called white Hispanics doing this. They wearing blackface because they want a damn Israelite, a Negro Israelite next to them, and dehumanize Black people. And we know they're using that word Black synonymous with Israelite. So we want to take that. According to Jill Lane.
Oh, you got it out.
According to Jill Lane, blackface was used as a way to create a Cuban identity independent from Spain. However, one can argue that blackness was seen as a proxy for national discourse and not for racial democracy. Anti-blackness was occurring transitionally between the United States and Latin America.
So what was going on in Latin America? It didn't just go on in the U.S., man. You see that? It didn't just go, and it still doesn't just go on in the U.S. Yeah, they want to pretend these people are our people. Then why in the hell is this going on? Go ahead, Al.
A Euro-diasporic anti-Black establishment was taking place, a cruel phenomenon which can be traced back to colonialism and African slavery.
Because they had us in slavery. These damn Hispanics, which are nothing but Spaniards, they had us in slavery, man.
Arnaz was able to perform white roles and even marry an Anglo-white actress, but the same could not be remotely fathomed for Hernandez. While many invoke the idea of what is that?
Something race mixing.
Mestizaje, race mixing, and one drop rule, it did not determine.
But that means you had one drop of so-called Negro blood in you. You was out of here. Okay.
It did not determine Latin American identity racially. The false idea that you were non-white if any of your ancestors was not white has been a common belief that ungirded racial categories and whiteness as passing in the United States. Regardless if Arnaz was considered white or not, his whiteness allowed him to pass and have access to Hollywood. Arnaz benefited from the system of white supremacy, while Arnaz was able to remain Cuban while also being marginalized. Hernandez was not able to be Puerto Rican because he was black.
See that? See that?
The impossibility of Afro descendants from Latin America being able to play Latin American or Latino roles would be further marked after the Civil Rights Movement. Black people from Latin America were segregated and became part of Black communities in the United States. Eminent figures like Arturo Alfonso Schomburg, Carlos Cooks, Chano Pozo, and Mario Baza, among others, formed part of the Harlem Renaissance. From the 1950s through the 1970s, there was a rise and fall of an uneasy coalition between Latinos and African Americans.
See that? See that? A part of the intellectual conflicts and white backlash that resulted from the Civil Rights Movement. The most salient aftermath was cementing of racial enthusiasm. Blackness was seen solely as African American, and Latinos became brown. See that? You see that? See how they separated? While whiteness became, damn. Pardon me, man. Stop sharing my screen here. Second to open this back up. So you see how they divide them into categories? They're trying to call them brown. We're black. And, whiteness became the whole Anglo-Saxon thing. So, I mean, everywhere you go, man. Everywhere you go, black is whack. Yeah, whiteness became Anglo-Saxon, Anglo-white. These political and racial constructs remain unquestionably until recently. The discussion of Latino whiteness was rarely brought up and instead focused minimally on Latino blackness. You see that? For example, Felipe Luciano's Jabaro, My Pretty Nigga, encouraged his blackness and Puerto Ricanness to appear. There was a time where you could actually be both black and Latino, but not white and Latino. The Nuyorican movement was occurring where black arts movement was taking place as well. So the question remains, do Latino browns themselves to create Latino as a race because the racial discourse in the United States does not allow them to be part of it? Another more important question is, what occurred as a result of Latinos becoming one brown mix, because they're a mixed race, they're not original race, and blackness exclusive to African Americans. As a result, Latin American markets and elites were able to carry out their anti-black agenda. And I hope you Israelites are getting this. anti-black agenda. Who did it? The Puerto Ricans. Who did it? The Colombians. Who did it? The Cubans. Who did it? All of the so-called Latin Americans that hate your damn guts. The damn Mexicans that you're calling isupk. That's who did it, which led to the rise of all-white soap operas protected under the constructed mestized or brownness. Afro-Latinos and indigenous people were made either invisible or reduced to adopting roles of musicians and sports athletes. That's what I say all the time. This benefited African Americans tremendously because it allowed them to fully immerse themselves within American nationalism, which required separating their history from Latinos and Afro-Latinos while envisioning Latinos in the United States as people who were never part of the nation to begin with. These people fight against racism in Latin America. These are so-called Negro Hispanics. These are real Israelites right here. You can see they look just like us. Same thing going on in all of these so-called Latin America countries. Black son is stand up. I watched this documentary. This was very interesting. This guy went to Mexico, and he was telling a story how the black Mexicans are treated like hell by those damn Spanish Mexicans. And this is just going into how they want our women to always bleach their skin. And many of them are weak enough to do this. Colorism. And this goes into, from 2007, there have just been 3 women of color selected as People Magazine's #1 most beautiful person of the year. Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce Knowles, and Tupac. The global market for skin lightening products is projected to hit $31.2 billion by the year 2024. Who's doing this? Mostly our women, but then again, Sammy Sosa did it. Hated himself. There's a book right here. I suggest all of you, and it's pretty expensive though. It's pretty expensive. I think it's like $150. I priced it. As Wilson Jeremiah Moses stated in his book, Black Messiah, and Uncle Tom's 1982, Black Messianism is the point in our culture mythology where nationalism and assimilationism come together most strikingly. Interesting book. African American sitcoms resulted in black enthusiastic and racial hierarchies that excluded Afro-Latinos in the U.S. and forced other black migrants to assimilate to African Americanism. African American sitcoms like The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son, and Good Times were mostly Christian monologue and family based. Latino sitcoms like Hugh, Pasa, USA, Chico and the Man, and ASE Hudson Street were white, Christian, bilingual, and also family based. Yeah, they classify them as white, man. Can't you see the separation? Can someone take that? You Israelites still can't see the separation?
These racially and ethnically constructed divisions not only excluded the large, diverse black communities in the U.S., also formed a blackness anti-ethical to Latin identity. While Latin American markets created all-white soap operas, which has become ever more transitional, U.S. media, U.S. media also created these divisions. And Christina Sen's, whatever that is, article, Who and What the Hell is a White Hispanic? One of the many arguments presented is that Latino whiteness is not possible because the myths of the
mix in some ways make Latinos all equal. That means that word means that they're mixed. For example, in the U.S., there is one drop rule. That means one drop of blood. if you have even one ancestor who is African, Asian, or indigenous, you are automatically non-white. In Puerto Rico, the one drop rule is that you are considered white if you have one white ancestor in previous 4 generations, known as the Regal del Secar Garcia Al Sarkar laws. In U.S., so they got a law on it. In the U.S., a Latino historically is not white, since Latinos, by definition, are a mixture of Spanish. I want you to hear it well. Of Spanish, indigenous, Africans, and Asian blood. You understand? However, according to the New York Times, in 2000, over 2.5 million Americans members are more than likely higher now change their race from some other to white. This is what the Latinos are doing. In recent 2010 census, 75.8 identify as white. So what you got in your camp stamp? 75.8. That's 76%.
Recently, because the Consensus Bureau finally realized that Latinos is not a race and is considering changing the ethno-racial category of Hispanic by allowing Latinos to choose a race for 2020. A recent document from the United States Census Bureau states that 3/4 of the growth in the white population was due to growing numbers of Hispanic whites, and 2, Hispanic whites comprise of a larger proportion of the multiple white race population than the white alone population. So where does this leave us?
So this is what we're saying. This is why you have them in your camp. We need to know who your fathers are, man. Otherwise, you're an Edomite. And you can't get them out of that, man. You can't get them out of that. Check out what this guy said, man.
The almost extinction of the original Negro during the time of the Spanish conquest and the memories of them in the most ancient traditions induce us to believe that the Negroes were the first inhabitants of Mexico. Dr. Nicholas Leon.
Negroes, the first inhabitants of Mexico. Now they want them out of the country. Negroes. Well, why do you think those statues and the paintings on the wall there? Do you think that's just coincidental?
This new book extends Tuane Vaughn, DJK's earlier research in the discursive racism of the Latin world. He presents a first inventory of elite discourse and racism in Spain and Latin America by examining discursive reactions in Spain to recent immigration, as well as age-old racism and ethnicism in text and talk in Latin America, especially Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and Chile.
See that? These are the people that they got on that damn sign that they're saying of our people, and they racist as hell against us.
Through careful analysis of the media, political discourse, textbooks, and other public discourse in these countries, he shows that the discursive Euro-racism is
ubiquitous also in countries outside of Europe.
Spain reproduces, but as yet in a less radical way, the kind of racist discourse we find elsewhere in Western Europe. In Latin America, ethnicism and racism against the indigenous peoples and against Afro-Latins has prevailed in elite discourse since colonialism and slavery.
See that? See that? And they calling these our people, man. Come on, wake up, man. Come on, man. Blackface. Wake up, man. Blackface
Was once popular in racist minstrel shows in the U.S., but has since been regarded as racist. It's still performed regularly in Spanish language entertainment.
Why? Why?
Afro-Latinos in Miami say that the play is a window into racism that exists and persists in local Latin American communities. WLRN host Jessica Bakeman discusses the response to the play and the criticism it's drawn with WLRN reporter.
We don't need all that. Let me skip that. No. This is what they're wearing in the play.
Whoa, no way.
They make a mockery of our people. And you simple Israelites saying this is our people doing this, man. They're doing the same damn thing that Esau does. Why? Because it's the same spirit there, man. Get your mind right, kid. Get your minds right. They're making complete mockery of us, man. We already been through this, man. And this is modernized. Who's doing it? The same damn Hispanics that you got in your camps. Oh, that's our people, ah. Spirit bear witness, ah. Spirit bear witness, ah. Yeah, all right. I hope your spirit is bearing witness to this. Look at that.
Billy Van, the monologue comedian, huh?
This is sick, man. This is sick.
What did the director say?
Yeah. We don't need to read all that.
Okay.
Skip over it. So it's still talking about that blackface. This is in 2018, man. It's not like it was in the 50s in 2018. This guy right here is in blackface. Can't really tell because it's in black and white. This is what they was talking about. This is Desi Arnaz. And when they play Ricky Ricardo, and that's the so-called Lady I Love Lucy. Yeah, racist Latin American. That's how they feel about you. Can't you see he look Asian, man? So-called Native American, huh? Yeah, all right. Now these are the real natives right here, man. This is what the real Native American Indians look like, man. They look like us. These are the people you're saying not natives. Like you say, I'm not a Gadite. These are Aztecs. Now they do like look like the Hispanics that you see. These are Aztecs. This is an Aztec couple. They look like Negroes. See the damn hair?
Yeah, they tried to push this. Did some research. They tried to push this as an Aztec couple, but these guys here actually they have Down syndrome, and the parents sold these folks to, well, they didn't sell them, but they let them go with this white guy who we thought would get them some help. Those guys are brothers and sisters. And they try to make a mate, and they had them in a dang on circus up and down the East Coast. This is an age-old, man. The age-old photo right here. There we go. The Omen.
Comparing him to the like statues that's over there. Now, why is there a statue in Mexico that almost look exactly like this damn guy right here? Are you going to say this is a Mexican? Mexicans normally have thin, narrow noses because they came from Spanish people, man. Understand that. Look at that. This is us, man. I'm like, that's us. They make mockery of our lips and so on and so forth, man, because they envy us. They go and get lip injection. Look at that. We got someone that looked like every one of them damn statues, man, because they was made off of our people. Man.
Unquestionable.
And this is what the natives looked like when they came here, man. They were Negroes. You were talking about true Gadites. This is what the true Gadites look like.
King Kamehameha. Yep, out of
Hawaii.
Khan.
And Hawaii. Now they look damn Hispanic looking.
Yeah, that was a real dude. That Kamehameha. That was a hardcore.
Well, let's see who the true Americans were. We go to a Webster's unabridged dictionary. Unabridged means that it hadn't changed.
Khan.
Not like the modern day Webster. Unabridged means the word didn't change. What is an American?
No Native American tribe looks the same. Copper color races. American, noun. A native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper colored races found here by Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. 1828 Webster Dictionary.
That's the original definition of America. That means that's what Europeans found when they got here. They found us. They found us. They didn't find Asians. They didn't find Puerto Ricans. They didn't find Cubans. They found us, Israelites, the real Native Americans.
Before you go to the next slide, Slakia, go ahead, go back to that previous slide right quick, Khan. Please note, everybody under the sounds of our voices, no two tribes look the same. You had those of us that had straight hair. You see on the far left. You got the woolly hair in the middle. And you got the mixture between both, which is curly hair on the far right. And it's all good. That's all I got. Africanus et Amerigo Vespucci.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
Is that not what they did? Is that not what they did? African American. Is that not what they did? Now, who's the copper color? Who's copper color? There's a definition of American again. Who's copper color, man? Her or her? It's a simple damn question with an easy answer. Who's copper color? Her? And when they calling her stuff an Indian or this one right here? She's a copper color right here, man. She looks like that, not her. What's your mind like, King? It's nothing but an Asian, man, saying he's Native American. Here's some more. Tell me these people don't look Asian, man. They look of Asian descent. They call them Native Americans. See what I'm saying? These are ours. These are not our people, man. You Israelites are going to have to wake up. These are not our people. You so-called house of David divided. All of these people, right, I put them up here because all of them believe this garbage, man, about all these people that we've been seeing are our people. They're not our people, man. The lies are going to have to stop, and we're going to stop your lies. We're going to stop your lies, man. So you can stop lying, man. Any day now.
Con, when I need to get a bigger screen because I'm on my laptop.
Yeah.
It looks real small. So forgive me with the fumbling with the
might be the settings or something, man. I don't know. You might be able to boost the image up, or it could, unless you got a like really small laptop.
No, I don't. I'm gonna see about it. See if I can blow it up because I'm not sure on how to make the part that's being recorded larger. Because on my screen, the private chat and the live comments are taking up like almost a third. So I want to make that smaller to make it everything else bigger, but I'll figure the StreamYard out as well.
Yeah. Do you have the same problem when you're on Zoom?
No.
Yeah. So it might be there. I'm not having a problem over here. It's kind of small, but I mean, so anyone want to call in? Give any any jokes, you want to call in, you got something you want to bring out, about what's going on, what's your viewpoint, based on the information that we're coming out with, showing you that these people are not your people. Now, how do you feel with these people being in your camp? How do you feel with these people being in your camp? And even more so, why would you still remain with an organization when you know they're lying to you? Why would you still do that? Why would you still remain in that kind of organization if you know that they're lying? Why would you still remain in that organization if they're still following that 12 tribe sign when you know it's lies? Notice that none of these men are coming forward. These men they're creating excuses to divert attention by saying we're clout chasing and so on and so forth. Because I'm gonna hit you with something. If these men had the truth, they would sit down and debate. Tazadaq sit down and debate all of the time. He's always running over the side show debating, but they won't debate this because they know they can't win. They know they can't win. It's just too much proof, man. It's far too much proof. And so not only are these people not of our nation, but the other thing you deal with, like many of these men are wicked and they're liars. They're wicked liars. And we got someone right here, heavy-footed. Who's this heavy-footed? Who's heavy-footed? This is real. Who's that? Heavy-footed what? Let me see who this is, man. We don't want to if he starts with some foolishness, he's out of here. Someone talking about blacks having the best weed and all of that. So who we got here? You got Joshua Benjamin. You're unmuted. What you got, Joshua Benjamin?
I think we're wasting our time with that guy. Based on his comments.
All right, I'll remove him. He's out of here. Yeah, he said something about Puff the Magic Panther. Yeah, he's a damn joke. Anyone want to call in, bring out anything? You got any opinion, any feedback? You know, any pedophiles that need to be exposed?
Yeah, it really surprises me that when you bring forth true facts and displaying information intelligently and plainly at the most basic level, why folks aren't responding?
Yeah, they're not receptive. They don't have anything to say. You know, they don't want to. You know, I think they won't gird up their loins like a man, and they don't want to appear as an adversary to any of these. Because you know, a lot of these men are kind of known, so they don't want to appear as a adversary to any of these men. Let me kick this guy out of the room, man. It's Joshua dude. Already banned him from the chat. He's out of here like last year. But I don't think they want to speak out against these men because they feel like these men are popular. That you know, there's a lot of guys out there that won't come forward, and they know stuff on these men, man. You know, they know many of these men are wicked. You know, they won't come forward. I mean, what man was? You know, you got to question yourself. Who would continuously stand next to Tazadaq when you know that this man has violated not one or two men's wives, but various men's wives? You know this, but you're still going all on the street and listen to this man because he's reciting some scripture. This man is not coming from you know, a real spiritual place with that.
No.
This man is doing that for filthy lucre, man. This man, you know, I mean, you know, talked to a brother today. He said he usually he had asked him about some of the stuff. He says Tazadaq didn't even respond. And he usually responds to his messages. You know why? Because he don't have an intelligent response. You know, and these people that stand around them is because you're wicked. If you stand around someone that's wicked, I hate to tell you, is because you're wicked. You're wicked. That's what's really going on, man. That's what's going on. You stay around wicked men is because you are wicked.
Yeah, high man was like wickedness loves company. They sure do.
Yeah,
because they need folks around them to continue to egg them on. Because I'm gonna tell you something: if those brothers around Tazadaq was checking him, he would leave. I know he would leave himself. He would leave himself.
But the thing is, a lot of them are wicked, man. I mean, keep in mind, one of them's a pedophile. He was grooming a little child, and then you got people that come out and try and defend that. So you know, what does that really say about them? You know?
Yeah, I have no tolerance for people like that. The Most High is working with me on that, but for someone to know and intentionally take advantage of a child, I mean, that just shows how much of a man that you're really not. You're a predator, and you need to be, you need a spiritual brainwashing, because the dots are not connecting. Especially if you're reading what's in Yahweh's word, and then you doing something completely different. Like I said last night, there's no way they believe in the Most High. No way. There is no way. Because they must not think judgment's coming to them. Unless
they don't really believe. They don't really believe. You know, it's all for vainglory. It's all for vainglory and show. They don't really believe this, man. There's no one in the hell that if you really believe in this and that you really thought that the Most High was actually going to punish you for going to lay with another man's wife, there's no way in the heck you would do that. You see what I'm saying? So the Negro, you can't believe in the scriptures, because judgment for that is ruthless. But you're gonna go and lay with another man's wife, or you're gonna go over here and be a pedophile, and you're gonna lie, just lie and lie and lie and keep telling lies to cover the other lie. Come on, man. Because if you had a fear that the Most High was going to punish you, man, you wasn't going to violate a man's wife and know that the Most High could see everything. You wouldn't have a pedophile standing next to you. Then people bring it out, and you still, I just don't pay any attention. It's going to let it go. Don't give it any energy. And so what's even more crazy, right, is the people that continue to follow someone like that. What does that say about someone that continue to follow someone like that? What does that say about someone that continues to try to defend someone like Zabak, like the guy Yahweh and so on and so forth, and all these other guys that's involved in that madness? What does it say about that? That makes them look even more than the persons that's performing these acts.
Con.
Because what kind of fool must you be? Your spirit's got to be off as hell to continue to follow something like that. And so that's what it is.
So you got Proverbs 6 and 32. Well, whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding and destroyeth his own soul.
Come.
So somewhere, and I said something about connecting the dots, you got a man who can speak, recite scriptures, put precepts upon precepts, but every time skip over this one.
That's what get him. That's what get him.
10 to 12 years.
Well, I mean, what it is he doesn't believe it. Hold on, we got Amaziah. Let's see what this is. Amaziah, you're unmuted. What you got?
Hey, shalom, Mark.
Hey, shalom, Mark. What's going on with you, King?
Nothing much. Hey, shalom, Mark.
Hey, shalom. What you think about what we've been talking about, good brother? As far as the nations are concerned, man.
Oh yeah, I think y'all been on point and everything, because with these Hispanics and everything, it's like, man, because you got Afro Hispanics, they're hated by the regular Hispanics,
right?
And because they know who they are and everything. The regular Hispanics know who the Afro Hispanics are,
right? So so as far as the camps that continue to have these people in it, I mean, what would you say about something like this? What do you think? Maybe you can help me understand. How are men and women still able to follow these men? Because Tazadaq and FOPE's actually been bringing out video after video showing that these are not our people, showing that they're very racist against us, showing that this book right here that I was going through, man, showing all the how ruthless that these so-called Native Americans were against us, man. These Moabites that's calling themselves Native Americans. They was ruthless against us, man, with their captivity. And when I read more into this book, man, it tells you that the Native American slave trade slavery lasted 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. After Esau had, so-called set the slaves free, they went on with it for a couple years longer. They didn't want to get rid of the slaves. And just like Esau, they had Jake in the big house, and then they had the rest of them fill Negroes. You see what I'm saying? It was the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was ravishing the women. And when he would ravish the women, he would denounce that he had children by her, because just like Esau, it was against the law for them to lay down with a Jake.
Right. Con.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy how they have these camps. They going off and everything. Got these where they got these Hispanics, these heathen Hispanics in that camps. It's like, man, it's probably because they want their woman and everything. That's probably what it is. That's probably why they say the Israelites, because they want to get with that woman.
Con. Yeah. The woman, and they probably taking ties from a lot of them, man.
Yeah,
They don't want to get that stuff up.
Yeah, that's what it is. Cause I know when I was a couple of times, like when I went down to when I went to this place and everything in Philly, it was just drink or something. I really didn't want Arizona drink, so I asked this Puerto Rican. He's a pale skinned Puerto Rican. I was like, hey, do you want this? Cause I didn't want it. I didn't want this Arizona drink. So he got smart with me. He said, no, nigga.
Damn.
I'm like, whoa, man, but I couldn't really do nothing at the time because I was on probation,
Right,
So
right. I mean, it kind of tells you how they really feel about us. And you notice, man, each time that they start rebuking us, like if it's one of these damn so-called Hispanics out in the street, one of the first things they start saying, man, is nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that.
Right. Calm, yeah, man. He's Hispanic. That's a big problem, It's like I was thinking, I was under the illusion that they were Israelites. I was thinking, whoa, he seemed pretty smart. I've been noticed being around these Hispanics that they also be turning on you too and everything. They be stabbing you in the back. So you try to be friends with them. I'm like, wow. I mean, Negroes do that. All people do that to us too, but still though, like some brother in California, he told me that the Mexicans, they be turning on their black friends over in California. I'm like, wow.
Yep.
They be because the so-called blacks be thinking that they friends, that they be their friends, the Mexicans, but they not. They always be turning on them. I'm like, wow. It made me think, like, why do they keep doing that? And then you got brothers who make excuses up saying, oh, the northern tribe Israelites, it's a car. They're gonna hate on the southern tribe Israelites. They'll use some scriptures and everything to say that's why they like that, them Hispanics.
Yeah, well, they done made all of that up because the northern and southern tribes are of a Negroid descent. These other people that they pull in, they're not of our nation, man. This is why their spirit don't mix, man. And every single one of those countries, man, they treat the so-called Afro Latino utterly different, totally different, just like here in America, man. And for Israelites to sit down, and this is what I hated by that damn One West crap. They would sit down and try and make up things to keep their false doctrine going, man, just to keep it going and deceive people, man. They would sit down and just try to make up, just trying to reach for stuff that's not even there. And some of our people are so damn gullible, they will keep going with it. But it's time to wake up from sleep, man. It's time to wake up from sleep, Israel.
Con, that's true. But also, I remember reading something on about how the Mexican parents and everything, and probably other Hispanic parents, but how the article I was reading last year, how the Mexican parents, they will disown their daughter if she get with a so-called black man. But they are okay. They are okay with her dating an Asian, Edomite, any other race, as long as it's not a so-called black man, they're okay with it.
Yeah, we've got another caller. Hold on for a second, Amaziah.
Hello?
Yeah, shalom. What's going on?
Shalom, brother.
What's going on with you, King?
Man, I want to thank you, man. I met you in 2018 when you came to Baltimore, brother. And, for some reason, I had made some donations to you and you donated back to me your book,
Right.
the real Hebrew Israelites versus Edom and Khazarah.
Yeah, Khazaria, Khan.
I really want to thank you for that, and I haven't. You spoke of me. I haven't, really cracked that book open and read it. I attempt to crack it open and read it with my two sons. But the story I want to share is, when I was at work one day, I went out on lunch break and I was eating a salad. This African lady from Ghana had rolled up on me and was asking me all sorts of questions like, "Are you from Ghana? Are you from the Ashanti tribe?" And I was kind of lost because I never heard of the Ashanti tribe. And I was like, "No, I'm just a lost American. I don't know where my bloodline is from." And our creator used her to send a message to me that day. Because after that day, I would see her around, but she would act like she never knew me or knew we had that talk.
Khan.
And I just want to know what is your thoughts about the kingdom of Ashanti? Is that related to the Israelites?
Well, here's the thing, our people got scattered. Now, if you talk to the average damn Israelite out of One West, right away, if someone say they're from Africa, they're gonna say, that's him. That's not our people. The average one's gonna say that. But here's the thing: our people got scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so we could be anywhere. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
We could be anywhere. The scriptures say the Spirit bears witness who's Israel, right? So if someone say that they're Israelite and they look like us, I mean, it's not for us to determine whether or not they're Israelite. But if someone looks like a lot of these damn Hispanics that you see in these camps, and they look like straight up damn white boys, you see what I'm saying? How in the hell are you gonna say that's our people, but someone from what they refer to as Africa, a couple of them, it's not our people? You're gonna say that's Ham? You see what I'm saying? Without even examining it. But when you tell them these Edomites, because they're not but Spanish men that they're having camps for the most part, when you tell them that's not our people, the Spirit bear witness, and some of these damn people are, I mean, obviously, man, come on, man. Looking at their features and come on, Spirit bear witness, Spirit bear witness. That's what they say, all right? But come on, man, we got to check his birth certificate. Let me see his birth certificate.
Exactly.
Let me see his generation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they won't do that for the people from Africa. Or the man, that's Ham. Hell no, that's Ham. And so that's a destroyed mind right there. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, that's utterly destroyed, man. That's destroyed. So it goes right. Hosea 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. You're gonna just utterly possibly write your brother and sister off for a damn someone. And our hair is not ether. You got the kinky good stuff. Strong. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The more kinky it is, the stronger it is. You see what I'm saying? The darker your skin is, the more melanin it has in it, the stronger it is. They taught you to hate all of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So this is why the nations be hating on us, because they know who we are, man. But at the same time, they go and get their injections. They want bigger lips. They want bigger hips. They want to look like you. They try and lock up their hair. They put all kind of damn crap in their hair to try and lock it up.
Yep.
A bunch of damn seaweeds tangled up together, man. They're trying to lock their damn hair up, man. Come on, man. Give me a damn break. Because they're busy trying to be like us. They know who we are. You know what I mean? Look what happened, when we get in any field of endeavor, right? Why we always take it over? Golf, tennis, whatever it is. Jake going it for a minute. He learn it. We end up mastering it. Then they want us out of there. Like tomorrow, man, that fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man, you know they want the great white hope to win that fight. You see what I'm saying? That's a political fight right there, man. That's a political fight, man. That's a political fight. This is bigger than just a boxing match. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
This is bigger, way bigger than a boxing match. Believe me, man. Believe me. It's way bigger than a boxing match.
Can I add something?
What was that, brother?
Can I add something out?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, by all means.
Oh, Khan. Hey, Shalom, Mark, the brother from Baltimore.
I'm actually in PG County, Maryland. I came out to Baltimore to meet Tazadaq in 2018 when he came to do his special out here.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I think it was in the now was I in the Lord Baltimore? I can't remember.
You was close near the harbor. I can't remember the hotel, but you was near the harbor in 2018 December.
Yeah, I was in the Lord Baltimore Hotel. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that well, man. Because I had on my Native American attire one day. Real Gadite, real Native American.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, that's a nice outfit." This ain't no damn outfit. It's a nice outfit. Ain't no damn costume or what have you. This is damn traditional wear. This is my tribal garment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real bougie out here, man. There's a lot of ground crackers in my area, man. It's real bougie out here.
Yeah. But go ahead, Amaziah.
I thought you was in Baltimore. I'm glad you're not in Baltimore because this is pretty rough out there, though, Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's where my rib is from. She's from Baltimore, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'd be in Baltimore quite often, man. It'd be all right.
Yeah, and so speaking of which, the confusion of face is like real and everything, because I know I was talking to some Puerto Rican woman working at this bar. She told me that she looked like an Edomite, but she told me that her dad was a dark-skinned Puerto Rican, which means that she could be like a Afro Puerto Rican. You think?
Yeah, come on. I mean, if her dad, you know what I mean? Yeah, come.
And she told me that her mom is a pale skin Puerto Rican or something. That's probably look 100% Edomite, but I thought she was an Edomite until she told me her dad was a dark skinned Puerto Rican. I was blown away. I was like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes again, when two of those recessive genes meet, that's what happens. If both parents release a recessive gene, you come out with recessive traits, right? I mean, this is how Edomites came about, man. It was two recessive genes. Remember, Esau was an albino. And when you keep reproducing those genes, it becomes more and more recessive. The hair straightens out more and more. Even there, who was it? Dr. Leakey? He was a geneticist. He said, light skin is recessive. Dark skin is dominant. Light eyes are recessive. Blue eyes, gray eyes, green eyes. Everything they told you was beautiful. Dr. Leakey, and by the way, he was an Edomite. He said that's recessive. Then he said, he took it a step farther. He said you could get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. So that means it goes back to what the scriptures are saying. We are the mothers and fathers of all of the nations on the earth. They came from us, man.
It's 10 o'clock.
These are big facts, man. Those are actual facts.
Con. Yeah, I heard that guy. I heard brothers told me this back in One West. They was telling me, you know, they told me when they was back in One West, they found out that you know, the guy in GMS, one of the elders, Gabar of Great Mills, told me, they all told me that he was a brown Edomite. I'm like, wow, this is but it's a confusion of face. So they all told me that.
Their spirits be off. I wouldn't even doubt that. But you never know, man. You never know. But yeah, they're confusing the face, man. They try and twist the scriptures with that, man. They try and twist the scriptures with that, man. Confusing the face. We went over that, man, a few months back, man. We destroyed that doctrine.
Right.
Forced doctrine, should I say. They try and pull everything out, man. They try and use everything, man. Like them damn masmers that they have you know, sitting on certain boards and so on and so forth, man. All that stuff's off, man. And these dudes knew that, man. They know it. They don't want to admit it. But One West stuff is just about over, man. We're not going to stop until they go away, man. And our people are waking up to this, which is beautiful. Our people are waking up to Zabak. They realize that he's wicked. They realize that, man, he's a and this guy, he had this problem for a long time, man. He's been dealing with this for a minute. Violating men's ribs and all of that. So yeah, man. Anything else? If no one has anything else, man, we could actually bring this. I appreciate you from calling in, brother. I'm close to Baltimore, man.
Con.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So if no one else has anything, man, we could go ahead and shut it down, man. That's what it is, man. I know they don't like it, but the When West Lies is over. The Hispanic people, because these people, you know, they had us in captivity, man. They're descendants of Spanish people, man. They invaded. Remember, let me make this abundantly clear to those Latinos that don't understand this. You are not a race. Even if you want to make yourself a brown race, you are not a natural race. You are the product of several different races, right? When you deal with antiquity, how in the hell can you be an Israelite? Let me ask you a question. Did the Israelites start off as with any Hispanics in the damn 12 tribes? La-ah. La-ah. How in the hell can you be an Israelite when you're not even a natural race? You understand what I'm saying? You're not even a natural race.
Yeah.
You're a mixture of several different races. This is why you know what you are? You follow others' cultures. This is why they refer to you as an ethnic group. So they classify you as whatever ethnic group you follow. So you want to follow, you know, these people making videos and documentaries and so on and so forth, trying to say you're Israelites. It's based upon whatever ethnic group you're following. So you could go and follow a Roman. You classify yourself as Rome because you don't have a race. I cannot overemphasize that. But the so-called Afro Hispanics or Latinos, they do have a race, which is their nationality, which is Hebrew Israelites. You guys don't have that, man. And since the bulk of you came from Edomite, you are Edomites. You're not Hispanics. There's no such thing as a Hispanic. Do you know when that term started being used? It's not even that old. You understand? It's not even a century old.
And it's funny, man. During my time in the service, I didn't quite understand what was going on, but when we got activated to go to Iraq, the same thing was the case where we had sister units from Puerto Rico, and they were attached with us for the workup to go over to Kuwait and Iraq, and all the dark-skinned so-called Puerto Ricans, they treated them differently.
See that? It's a fact.
And it caused an issue right over there in Camp Lejeune before we went over there. And it was so messed up because these guys were so jealous of the locals over there, such as myself, you know, being that I was actually domiciled in North Carolina. We got to go home every weekend, but the folks from Ohio, Puerto Rico, and other sister units, they had to stay around the base because if they tried to go home, they would be outside, you know, a certain amount of radius. And they try to get everybody to not be able to visit their families before leaving. That's how wicked these guys are, man. And, you know, I guess to them, they might think it's innocent, but no, they do that. And it's been going on for years. After going over there to Kuwait and Iraq, went to Morocco about 5 times. I had a brother that was with me. They would not serve this man orange juice because they said he was too dark. They wouldn't even acknowledge that he existed with or without the uniform. And he was one of the Marines that was with me. So I end up having to order his food for him, which is crazy. I never seen anything like that in my life, but it happened right over there in Morocco. Our people.
And to all of you that think that the so-called Native Americans are different, I'm going to go to page 55 in Black Indian Genealogy Research. It says in the second paragraph, right? However, the researchers should also remember that the original freedmen or the former slaves of Indians. So they was ruling over us, right? And any recognition of blood ties to Indians would be an admission of sexual contact that had been banned before and after emancipation. You wasn't allowed to have sex with these people, man. It was banned. These bans were later written in the constitution of the nations of these Indians. There was also a difference in the resulting land allotments for the Indians who were enrolled as Indians by blood and those enrolled as freedmen, meaning so-called Negro Israelites. You see what I'm saying? The distinction was indeed unfair and is the root cause of political problems today with these 5 tribes. So to all of you that think that these people are for you, you're bugged out of your damn minds. And for all of you damn hypocritical Israelite men that keep pushing that garbage, shame on you. Shame on you, man. These people hate your guts, man. These people hate your guts. Understand that. These people hate your guts, man. And that's what it is, man. That's the triple truth, Ruth. And so with that, no one else got anything. We could bring this to a close. Good brother. I'm Yashabum. You thank everyone for calling in. Thank you for showing your support. And we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. So until next time, we're gonna say shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Is out.